Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm super excited today to be live with you and with one of my wonderful clients, Kim Lebbing. She has been so gracious to get on here with me, and we're going to dive into her business and what's changed and all the amazing things that she is doing to make a huge impact in people's lives and in their businesses out there. And we want to just talk about kind of where Kim was and where she is now and the shifts that she's had along the way as she has been working with me. So, Kim, welcome. I'm super excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I was excited to do this.
Oh, that's wonderful. She's one of my best clients. All of my clients are amazing, actually. I can't really complain. Hey, Darlene, good to have you on. So, Kim, let's talk about when we first started working together. And kind of let's talk about what you were doing before we started working together. Let's go back a little ways and just tell everybody kind of first what you do and what you were doing, and then what made you decide to actually hire a coach and work with someone like me.
Okay. So, well, I am a success and mindset coach. I work with business owners, entrepreneurs, teams that are stuck and struggling. And I've got a unique process that fixes the problem that they're having, whatever's holding them back in 4 hours or less. So before, what was I doing? What was I not doing is probably more accurate question, because literally everything that I saw, if I saw somebody else doing something, I'm like, oh, that sounds good. I'll try that. Oh, I was trying so many different things. I was building funnels. I was networking in person. Which I still am doing, but I was on Facebook and LinkedIn. I was in all these different places and kind of just all over the place as far as how I was promoting myself. I was literally trying so many different things, and I really didn't. I don't know. I felt stuck. Like I just felt like I couldn't get to where I wanted to be without doing all those things, but yet I wasn't getting anywhere with all those things.
Mhm.
And I
Right.
was the program buyer. I bought all the programs, all the stuff done for you, and content, and all these things that I thought was going to fix my problem that I was having, but it really
Mhm.
didn't.
Yeah. And so I want to dive into that a little bit because this is definitely a rabbit hole that a lot of, or several rabbit holes that a lot of coaches go down. They get out there in the online world and they start seeing all this stuff. And there's nothing like having someone take a look at your brilliance and your value and what you bring to the table and saying, oh my gosh, yeah, you're going about it all wrong. And let's shift this, which is what we did when I learned what you were doing and the process that you have now. It wasn't called 4 hour rapid results, and it wasn't so
It
we
had a
we
very
did all.
long, complicated name.
Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't really much of a name, I don't think, if I remember right. But you came to me when you booked on my calendar. I have an application form that people fill out, and I said, how much do you want to make? Those goals have like gone way
Oh, God.
up, haven't they?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I laughed and I said, okay, well, if this is what you want to make, then let's put the offer together. But why only this much? And you said, well, I've just never made that before, which I think that's a really good answer. And that was one of the things that made me say, okay, I already knew you had major potential. And so we restructured everything, we repackaged everything. And what are some of the other things that happened? Well, I know in the first week you got a client for your new fees 5 times more than what you had been charging, right?
Right.
And now you're getting clients for, I don't know, 20 times more. Is that about right? I should have done the math. 20
Yeah,
times.
I think it is probably 20 times more. And I know you remember this, but that very first client, I was literally shaking. I was so
Oh, I
nervous.
remember.
I was like shaking I think I shook for half a day because I was just so nervous about it.
And it was
'Cause
cash. It was a
yeah,
big cash
yeah,
client. It was your best month. I mean, I
yeah,
think just that one shot of cash was the most you had ever made, if I'm not
yes,
mistaken. Yeah.
yeah, it definitely was. And I don't know, I was just before working with you, I was just so all over the place. And honestly, with that income thing, I didn't even think it was possible because I always thought in order to get to the level that I wanted, I would have to sacrifice my family. And that's that was a really that's a big one for me. It's a really big one for me. I've got kids. We homeschooled for years. So I mean, family. It's very important to me to keep all of that intact
Yes.
because I've done it the wrong way in the past. So there's that. But I um, I that was really important to me, and I just didn't see it as possible until I met you. And then you showed me, I mean, you gave me a lot of time back. You gave me time and money.
That's a really huge thing for people to know, because how many people are out there in the hustle and the grind. And I did this, when I first started in the coaching world, I don't know, 11 years ago or whatever. I did the very same thing. I bought into a lot of the stuff that is going on, and a lot of the strategies and tactics and everything that is going on. And I was very much like you. I was spinning my wheels. I was having some success because I did understand business and marketing and sales, but my business kept hitting, a level. It wouldn't go beyond that level. And it was really kind of the same for you. And you were out there just really spinning your wheels, and getting that time back is so invaluable. And the thing that people don't realize is you can have a really high end, great business that is more money than you probably dreamed about ever making, and still have a life. You have 3 kids, you have a husband, you go places and you do things and you have freedom. And like you said, you homeschooled. So I think that's a really important thing for people to understand as well. So outside of we restructured your packages. We really just kind of restructured your whole business and your whole business model, your marketing, your strategy. And I think for a lot of people, this would sound overwhelming. Was it as hard as what you had been doing?
Honestly, it was so much simpler than what I was doing. I mean, that's the best way I could describe it. Is it was so much simpler than if I were to describe my business now, I would say it's simple. It's not complicated. I know exactly what I'm going to say. I know exactly what, even my marketing. I mean, yes, you're there for me. Like, you're really there for me whenever I have questions and, on different things. But I mean, it's very streamlined now. Everything is very streamlined. And I love that, because before it was not. I was all over the place and trying to just, do the next best thing that I thought would work. And when I think about all the money I invested in programs and funnels, and how many hours I spent building funnels. Just like,
you don't even really use those now.
No.
Now, eventually you can, again, as we keep scaling your business. But honestly, you haven't got to that place yet, because you're really, now you're getting clients for almost $40,000. When you started, this is important for people to know, you were getting clients for about $1,700 for 90 days. Now you're not only getting those high-end clients, you're retaining clients month after month. And now you're building your base income, which I think is super important for people to realize, because that also simplifies and makes your business much less stressful and easier to know you're going to have that money coming in, instead of what you were doing before. Like that was the hustle and grind, right? Get another client, get another client, get another client. And now you've got clients to stay with you. So talk about that a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. That's a mindset shift too, to know that you have people coming in. Always. And even like the $40,000 client, like if you would have told me a year ago that I'd have a $40,000 client, I don't know that I know I wouldn't have believed you. It's because, it's part of this process with you is that I mentioned this earlier before we hopped on here, is because I find you helped me streamline it and figured out what I'm an expert in that I wasn't even aware of. And now, I knew, but not to the degree that you saw it. I'm now I've gotten so good at what I do
Yes.
that, I mean, I'm so good and so confident at it that I know I get results for people no matter what. So, so I mean, that income now I can see it because I guess I feel like it's deserved because I know what kind of results I'm getting.
Yes, it absolutely is. That's right. I mean, I don't like to say you're now getting paid your worth because we're worth more than we could ever get paid, right? But you're getting paid what really now what your services are worth. And actually the $40,000 client that you just recently got, that's scratching the surface. We already know that your next one's going to be higher than that, as we've already discussed, and you're good with it. Like, you know you are worth it. You know what you are doing is worth even more. But the one thing I think it's important for people to realize is there is sort of you kind of have to take things in a bit of a stair step way. If you were shaking at getting that first client for cash, that was, it was 5 times more than you had been making. To take you right to a $40,000 client would have not worked because
I would have ran.
Yeah, you weren't there yet.
Yes.
But to show you, okay, now you've done this, then we retained clients, then we started retaining them. That was the next step. And then, okay, now Kim, let's go after these bigger clients because look what you can do with them. And they're loving you. And
Yes.
you are totally confident in going to get more of those people. And now you're moving your business even in that direction. So it's important for people to know that your business will evolve. You don't just go from $1,700 to $40,000 unless you have 30 or 40 years experience and you really just had no clue how to do that. It could happen, but typically there's sort of a progression. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Oh, totally 100%. Because like I said, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready. So the steps and the way it progressed were perfect.
A mindset coach that said I had to have mindset shifts. Can you explain that?
Well, everybody has mindset shifts that they go to at whatever level you're going through. I mean, everybody does. I mean, there's no way to avoid it. How you move
Every time
through.
we're going to that next level, our thinking and our mindset has to shift to that next level.
Yes. I did see, though, that I shifted much faster with this last one than I did in the very beginning. So it was like that getting over that first big hump or hurdle was probably the biggest impact on me, mindset wise.
Let's talk too about the difference in investing in a lot of stuff and investing in like real true help where someone is really in the weeds with you. Diving into your business, diving into your value. It's no secret that I only work with a handful of clients at a high level because I want to be very high touch with them. Would you say I'm very high touch with you, Kim?
Yes, I would. That's an understatement.
I like to over deliver. So what's the difference there? But I want to just also say Kim has invested in me. She's invested in her own success. She's not trying to do things cheap or free anymore or low value. She knows that to really get her business to where she wants to be, sometimes it also takes investing big and not investing with where you are right now, but with where you want to go. And I say that all the time. Don't make decisions based on where you are. Make decisions based on where you want to go. Do you want to talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah, well, I'm going to regurgitate something that you taught me because I even use it with my own clients because you said, and it stuck, that money buys speed.
Yes. I don't even know where I heard that, but
I don't know either, but it really stuck with me because that's the investing part. Because whenever you can get your hands on somebody that really knows what they're doing and they're really an expert at whatever that is that you're wanting, that you're not doing on your own, it speeds up the whole process. It speeds up the whole process, and then you can make more money faster.
Yes.
Whatever it is, whether it's business coaching or mindset or well, whatever it is that you need, if you go and spend or invest the money in it, then you can get there faster.
So it's been a good return on your investment.
Definitely. Definitely, I would say so.
Good. I probably wouldn't have had you on here if you would have said no, but no, she is here's the other thing. When you invest bigger, you also take the right actions. Like you'll take more action and you're more serious about your growth, because even from right before you came to me, your seriousness totally shifted, I believe, even working together. But is that because you saw the possibilities like for the first time and because it was simplified? What would you say?
I think it's a combination of all of that. I mean, I think the investing in it is huge because you've got a lot of skin. If you have skin in the game, a big piece of it, then you're going to do more of the actions. So I think that's a huge piece. And then also seeing what's part of it. But on the flip side of this, I mean, I've noticed that in my own clients. I've noticed a shift in the type of people that I'm getting. And I mean, it's really incredible how that works.
It really up levels your game too.
It does. It does. And I see their results being bigger and bigger and bigger than, so I don't know. I don't even understand. I mean, if you dove into it, you probably could dissect that. But it's a combination, I believe.
I remember the first time I paid $30,000 to work with a coach, but he helped me get my first $30,000 client. So that was a complete game changer. And so there is a shift that goes on. There's a mental shift that goes on when you invest to go bigger. Bigger things happen. And the other thing, I know a lot of people would question this, Kim, and so I really want to talk about this because a lot of people would say, "Well, I'm afraid to invest big because what if that coach doesn't get me the results?" And I talked about this, I think last week on maybe a live, where I said a coach with integrity would not take you on for really big fees if they did not believe they could not get you a return. Have you found that obviously with me, and do you believe that as well?
Yeah, I definitely believe that. I mean, you can see their track record a lot of times. I mean, I still get messages from coaches sometimes that I think even their tactics, they're saying that they're not teaching the tactic that they are doing in the message.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I teach my clients how to, not cold message people, but then that's what they're doing with me.
That's funny.
So I think, looking at the track record, you obviously have a track record. I mean, there's so many people out there that you can see that I know you've helped, and I know you've built businesses. So finding that person that is an expert in what they do, and you're it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So what else would you like to share really quick, because I want to honor your time, but I appreciate you getting on here, but what else would you like to share?
I would like to share mostly is if you're a coach or someone looking at getting help, don't hesitate and go do it, because the longer you wait to invest in yourself and in your business, the longer it's going to take you to get where you want to go. And it's just money lost. But that's what I look at, like all this money in the past that just was wasted because you didn't know what you didn't know. So go do it.
Yeah.
That's my advice. Go do it and invest in yourself.
And if you invest in someone who does have integrity in what they do and they really do know what they're doing, it's not a cost. It's not going to be a cost, and you're not going to lose your money. The only way most people would lose their money working with someone. Now, I always say, do your due diligence, check out who you're going to obviously hire or work with, and make sure that what they're helping you do aligns with what you want to do and kind of the lifestyle that you want. All of those things are important pieces. And because I've invested in programs where they had me going down the wrong path, that just wasn't where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do. It just didn't feel good. They weren't the clients I wanted to work with. I know one of the things we forgot to talk about this, but one of the things that I remember you saying is, oh my gosh, I cannot believe the difference in these higher level clients.
Yeah.
Than the people that I was working with. You said it's so effortless and it's so easy and it's so much more fun when you're working with clients that are so aligned with you and they're getting results because they're excited and they're taking the actions and all of those things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a big difference I noticed.
Yeah.
There wasn't, I don't know. I mean, I loved everybody I've worked with. I don't know that I've worked with anybody that I didn't like. However, the higher level clients, the process seemed easier and they were just more engaged.
There you
More
go.
in the
Yes.
process, more
Yeah.
committed.
Yes. No, that's true. And I think that goes back to when you invest and you've got a lot of skin in the game and you are working with the right person who can take you where you want to go, then you will be much more committed and you are just so much more invested in getting results and having success. And I can't tell you the programs I personally have invested in that I just never did or never finished. I might have even bought them to learn one little thing, not to build my business, but to learn something maybe I didn't know. And that's not the same. Doing that is not the same as investing in someone who can give you step-by-step guidance and be in the weeds with you and take you to that next place and that next place and that next place.
Yeah.
And so I know you have seen that as well. So your goals have totally changed, going from $1,700 clients to $40,000 clients. That's a pretty nice little jump for you. Has it been life-changing?
Totally. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just can't even, I don't know that I'd even still be doing this because I think I would still be frustrated had I not found you.
Oh.
I mean, really, because it was getting frustrating to keep going down. I mean, I loved working with people, but at some point you have to make money at what you're doing.
There you go.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Do you see yourself doing this for a long time now?
Yes.
So
yeah.
This is
because I don't feel exhausted. I don't feel tired and exhausted about just so many different things going on, where before I felt like the only way to do that long term, I would have felt overwhelmed.
Yes. And that's the other reason I think it's important to know that too. That's one of the reasons why I'm super, super passionate about building an ultra high end business, because you don't have to work with a million clients. You're not in a consistent hustle and grind. You have a strategy in place. You work that strategy. You can layer on as you go, but it's all completely aligned. Like now we've added a couple more things for you. And really we're still scratching the surface to what you can do and what's possible for you. But also I want to talk about something too very quickly that just came to my mind. You reach out to me sometimes because you get approached, people wanting you to do this with them and that with them. And so the other thing is, so you a lot of times will reach out and say, okay, Ann, what do you think? And so we'll talk that through. But a lot of times you end up saying no because you realize it's going to take you back into that sort of hustle and grind stage for little money, right?
Right. Yeah, totally. I am so much better about knowing what to say no to. Because I'm just really clear. That's one thing. I have so much more clarity now. I'm just really clear about what direction I want to go, what I'm doing, what I want to keep doing. And then I'm able to let go of all those other things. Or before I would have said, yes, sure, yes.
Sounds good, right? Confusion and lack of focus are the two enemies for an entrepreneur, I believe.
Yeah.
Not having, just being confused and being all over the place, but also not having a clear path, a clear strategy and focus that can get you to where you want to go. So Kim, final words. First of all, if you need a rapid shift, reach out to Kim. She's absolutely phenomenal at what she does. She is, like I said, she's changing lives out there. And I'm loving watching her grow and just really kind of blossom and just all the great things she's doing, leveling up. And she's really starting to take on some really cool things now that she really didn't do before and hadn't even thought about doing before. And she's
Right.
playing a bigger game. She has stepped up. She's leveled up. She's playing a bigger game. Those clients are coming to her now. And so if you need her help, reach out to her. She also does work with teams. So if you have a team in your business and they need some shifting, they need some mindset work to get more productivity or higher sales, more success, just reach out to Kim. She's amazing. So Kim, any final words?
Final word. I think we already did that part.
Oh, we did. Yeah, I have a tendency to do that. And then just keep talking. Well,
thank
Kim,
you for having me on. That would be my final word. Thank you for having me on today and for all that you've done for my business, my family, me personally, because it's been such a big shift and blessing really for all of
thank
us.
you. I'm so glad. That's why I do this. The same reason you do it is we want to change people's lives and we want to give them a better life. So I'm so honored to do that. And, the thing is you're doing the work. I'm just guiding you, but you're doing the work. So, and you're good at what you do. So it's not hard. But thank you so much for being on, Kim, and everyone. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.